Aloha nui kako. Okay, so I'm back for a very special, extremely spooky, and kamahaʻo story about the 2020 desecration of our Hala Grove out here in Waiakahiʻula. Now, before we begin, Hala is a big deal to us Hawaii peoples. In fact, all of our Hawaii plants, the kalo, the niu, the ulu, ohiʻalehua, we see all of these guys as ohana. You see in the Kumulipo, which is this giant genealogical chant which tells us about the creation of the whole Hawaii universe, we learn about how us humans are in fact connected to all things Hawaii, including our plant peoples. We even have this term, kinolau, or extended body forms, in which our akua, or our elemental deities, can manifest in the form of these plants. So we don't just see these guys as plants, yeah, but living physical embodiments of our kupuna. These guys are family. But okay, let's get into the story, shall we? Okay, so in the year 2020, a Haole family from the continent moved out here to Waiakahiʻula in the Hawaiian Shores Subdivision. They had purchased a home near the kai so that they could get their beautiful ocean view. However, there was a little something preventing them from getting the view of their dreams, which was a massive lauhala grove called Maumau. Now, Maumau can be translated to mean constant, continual, perpetual, and the reason why this Hala Grove has this name was because it was massive, lush, beautiful, and continued along the whole shorelines of Waiakahiʻula and beyond. I mean, Hala Groves like Maumau are why Puna has such sayings such as Puna paia ala I ka hala, Puna kaiku wa I ka ulu hala, ma'e ma'e Puna I ka hala me ka lehua, and so on and so forth. Puna is well known for our beloved and cherished hala. Anyway, so in April 2020, this ohana, I'll give them the name Kohu. So ka ohana Kohu decides to take matters into their own hands, and they, along with two fellow residents of the Hawaiian Shores Subdivision, go to Maumau, chainsaws in hand, and yeah. Fortunately, another resident of the area, who just so happened to be home alone at the time, saw what these guys were up to and immediately notified the Hawaiian Shores Community Association office, which resulted in members of the association coming down and halting any further destruction of the Hala Grove. So I need to pause the story real quick to share that this particular section of Maumau lands on a property that is owned by the Hawaiian Shores Community Association, of whom received an SMA permit to clean around the area back in 2011, which means that this hui has legal kuleana to that area. Hence why they're the ones who were notified first. Anyway, so shortly after that incident, Ohana Kohu retreats back to one of their homes outside of Hawaii, and they actually end up getting in trouble for doing the exact same thing, because supposedly Ohana Kohu went and cut down over 100 trees just to enhance their river view. How's this ohana, yeah? And while all this is going on, Ohana Kohu began to pay their gardener, who was doing work for them back here in Waiakahiʻula, to go into Maumau and poison our hala with Roundup 360. From there, another 10 trees were lost, and a neighbor of that area said that they watched the trees die slowly. So jumping ahead in the timeline to 2022, Ohana Kohu returns to Waiakahiʻula, and Mr. Kohu, the ringleader himself, hires yet another guy to go into Maumau with a chainsaw.
Excuse me. Cutting these trees is not allowed.
He's stopped by another member of the association, and a few months later, Mr. Kohu himself goes out into Maumau with a chainsaw. And continues his assault. It would later be determined that over 50 hala trees had been cut down. And then the neighbors let me know that when they went into Maumau to go investigate, they saw that large incisions had been made on all the trees so that when the strong winds would come, all of our hala would just topple over. And while this is all occurring, the association and Ohana Kohu are going at it in the courts. And it's eventually determined that Ohana Kohu was in fact in the wrong, and they were hit with a $15,000 fine, a fine that's still building to this day. So what became of Ohana Kohu? Well, Mr. Kohu, the very man who initiated all of this hewa, let's just say Ua hala oia. And now his ohana remains bound to the swelling legal fees and the hala grove that creeps back to life just across from their hale. Because again, o Maumau kona inoa. She is Maumau. She waits, she endures, and she'll be back. Mahalo nui no ko'oko ho'olohe ana mai. This is No'eau, the kahuaina of Waiakahiʻula, signing out. Aloha.